Introduction. My name is Della. I was 26 years old. I lived in a small town where most people knew each other. I worked at a coffee shop called the Daily Bean. My life was simple and quiet. I made coffee for customers, talked to them, and then went home to my small apartment. Nothing much changed from day to day. One Tuesday, it was raining very hard. The sky was dark gray and the streets were wet. I was cleaning the counter inside the coffee shop. I watched the rain falling on the window. Then I saw a man and a small boy outside. They were standing under the roof of the shop next door. The man did not have an umbrella. His jacket was thin and wet. The little boy looked very cold. He was shaking. The man looked tired and sad. I felt a little sad for them. I walked to the door of the coffee shop. "Excuse me," I said. "Please come inside. It is warm here." The man looked at me. His eyes were dark brown and looked very tired. "We do not have any money for coffee," he said. His voice was soft. "That is okay," I said, and I smiled. "Just come in, please." He thought for a moment. Then he nodded his head. He and the little boy came inside. The boy's hair was wet and his small nose was red from the cold. I went behind the counter. I made 2 cups of hot chocolate. I put a lot of whipped cream on top of each one. Then I put them on the counter for them. "Here," I said, "these are for you. They are free." The man looked surprised. "Thank you," he said. "Thank you very much." He helped the little boy sit on a chair. They drank the hot chocolate slowly. The little boy started to smile as he drank. The man watched his son, and then a small, soft smile came to his face, too. It was a very nice smile. The man told me his name was Zachary. The boy was his son, Leo. Leo was 5 years old. I learned that they lived in a small apartment on the other side of town. Before they left the coffee shop, Zachary looked at me again. "You were very kind to us today," he said. I just smiled back at him. "I am happy I could help," I said. I watched them leave. The rain was not so heavy now. I did not know it then, but my quiet, simple life changed forever on that rainy day. I felt like this meeting was the start of something new for me. 2. His secret. The next week, Zachary and his son, Leo, came to the coffee shop again. They came almost every Tuesday. Sometimes they came on a Saturday, too. Zachary always bought 1 coffee for himself and 1 hot chocolate for Leo. He paid with the money he had, often with many coins. They always sat at the same small table in the corner. Zachary usually had a newspaper. He looked at the job advertisements while Leo drew pictures on paper napkins. Leo was a quiet boy, but his drawings were full of bright colors. Their visits became a regular part of my week. I started to look forward to seeing them. Our conversations slowly became more frequent. At first, it was just a few words about the weather or the coffee. But then, Zachary started to tell me more about his life. I learned that he was a mechanic. He was good at fixing cars. However, the garage where he worked was closing soon. So, he was looking for a new job. It was not easy to find work in our small town. I could see he was worried, but he never complained. He was always polite and kind. He always said please and thank you with a soft voice. One quiet afternoon, the coffee shop was empty. It was just me, Zachary, and Leo. Leo was very tired. He had fallen asleep in his chair, his small head resting on the table. I brought Zachary a free refill of his coffee. "Your son is very sweet," I said to him, smiling at Leo. Zachary looked at his sleeping son. He smiled that soft, gentle smile that I liked so much. "He is my whole world," Zachary said quietly. I had often wondered about Leo's mother. I never saw a woman with them. My mind was curious. I decided to ask. "Is his mother working today?" I asked. It was a simple question, but as soon as I said it, the happy light in Zachary's eyes went away. His face became sad. He looked down at his coffee cup. He did not speak for a long time. The silence in the shop felt very heavy. I thought I had said something wrong, something rude. "I'm sorry," I said quickly. "I didn't mean to upset you." Zachary slowly shook his head. "It's okay," he said, his voice very low and full of sadness. "She left us 2 years ago." My heart felt a sudden pain. "Oh," I said. I did not know what to say. The word left felt so sad and so final. It was a terrible truth. "She didn't want to be a mother anymore," he continued, still looking at his coffee. "She didn't like our life. She said we were too poor." His voice was not angry, just very, very tired. I could see the deep pain in his eyes. He tried to hide it, but I could feel it. He worked very hard. His clothes were old, and his hands were rough from his mechanic work. He did not have much money, that was clear. But he was a good man. He was a good father. He loved his son more than anything in the world. I felt something for him in that moment. It was not sadness for him. It was a deep respect for his strength and his love for Leo. 3. We become friends. After Zachary told me his secret, things changed between us. We started to talk more often. He spoke about his old job. I told him about my dream to open my own bakery one day. He always listened to me carefully. I began to look forward to the days he came to the coffee shop. My stomach felt a little strange when he walked in. I often gave Leo free cookies. I also gave Zachary free coffee. My manager, Mrs. Gable, was an old woman who was often grumpy. She saw what I was doing. One day, Mrs. Gable spoke to me. "Della," she said, "you should be careful. He is a poor man. He has a child. He will only bring you problems. Stay away from him." Her words made me feel angry. Zachary was not a problem. He was a kind man and he was strong. I did not care that he was poor. I did not listen to her. I did the opposite. One Saturday, I asked him a question. "Would you and Leo like to go to the park with me?" His eyes opened wide. "Really?" he asked. Yes, I said. My treat, we can also get ice cream. So we went to the park. I watched Zachary push Leo on the swings. He laughed a real loud laugh. It was a beautiful sound. We sat on the green grass and ate our ice cream. We talked for many hours. I felt very comfortable with him. He was just Zachary. He was not trying to be anyone else. I began to help him by babysitting Leo sometimes. I did it for free. This helped Zachary go to job interviews. I would take Leo to my apartment. We would bake sweet cookies and watch cartoons on the television. Leo started to call me Della Della. People in our small town started to talk about us. I saw them whisper when I was with Zachary at the grocery store. They would say things like, "What is she doing with him?" Or "She can find a better man." I did not care what they said. I liked him very much. I liked being with him and Leo. He never bought me flowers or expensive things. He could not afford them. But he gave me something more important. He made me feel safe. He made me laugh. My quiet, simple life was not so quiet anymore. It was full of laughter. My fridge was full of Leo's drawings. And I was happy for my old boyfriend. Just when my life started to feel good, someone from my past came back. His name was Damien. He was my boyfriend in high school. His family was the richest in our town. They owned a very big company. Damien was handsome, and he always got what he wanted. He left our town for college many years ago. Now he was back. One day he walked into the coffee shop. He looked around like he owned the place. "Della," he said with a big smile that did not look real, "you look nice. Are you still working in this small shop?" I tried to be polite, but I felt cold. "Hello, Damien, what would you like to order?" Just then, Zachary and Leo came in. Leo ran to me and gave me a big hug. "Della Della," he said happily. Damien looked at Zachary. He looked at Zachary's old work boots and his simple clothes. Then Damien laughed. It was a loud, mean laugh. "So, this is your new man?" Damien said. He spoke loudly so other customers could hear him. "A father with no money? Della, you can find someone much better." My face turned red. I felt hot and angry. Zachary's jaw became tight, but he did not say anything. He just took Leo's hand. "We will come back later, Della," he said softly, and they left the shop. My heart felt sad to see them go. That evening, a man came to my apartment. He brought a very big bunch of red roses. It was from Damien. The card said, "I made a mistake when I left. I want you back. Love, Damien." The next day, my mother called me. She was very excited. "Della, Damien is back. His mother called me. He wants to take you to dinner. This is your big chance. He has a lot of money. He can give you a very good life." I felt confused inside. A life with Damien meant money, a big house, and no worries about bills. My mother wanted this for me. Everyone in town probably expected it. But my heart felt heavy. Damien never looked at me with real love like Zachary did. Damien gave me expensive gifts. Zachary gave me his time and his deep respect. With Damien, I felt like a prize. He wanted to show me off. With Zachary, I felt like a partner. We were equal. That night, I threw the beautiful red roses into the trash can. Then I called my mother. "I am not going to dinner with Damien," I told her. "I like someone else." She was not happy. Her voice sounded very disappointed, but I knew I made the right choice. My heart did not want a rich boy, it wanted a good man. 5, a question. After the day with Damien in the coffee shop, Zachary was quiet. He still came for coffee, but he did not stay long. He looked worried. I was scared that Damien's words hurt him. I feared he thought I would leave him for a richer man. I did not want him to think that. I wished to tell him that money was not important to me. One evening, there was a knock on my door. It was Zachary, and he was alone. He looked nervous. "Can I come in?" he asked. "Of course," I said. He stood in my small living room holding his old hat. He turned it over and over in his hands. "Della," he began, his voice low, "I cannot stop thinking about what Damien said, about me being poor." My heart felt sad for him. "Zachary, I do not care about that," I said. He looked up, his brown eyes serious. "I know," he said, "but he is right about one thing. I do not have much to give you. I do not have a big house or a fancy car. My money is for rent and food for Leo. I cannot buy you jewelry or take you on vacations." He took a deep breath. "But I can give you my heart. I can promise to work hard for you every day. I can promise to be a good husband and a good father. I love you, Della." Tears came to my eyes. His words were simple and honest. They meant everything. He took a step closer. "I do not have a ring," he said, his voice shaking a little. "But I want to build a life with you. I want to wake up with you every morning. I want you to be a part of our family. Will you marry me?" I could not believe it. He was offering me love, not money. It was everything I ever wanted. "Yes," I whispered. "Yes, Zachary, I will marry you." He let out a breath he was holding. A huge, beautiful smile spread across his face. He pulled me into his arms and held me tight. When I told my family, they were angry. "You are making a huge mistake," my mother shouted over the phone. "You will marry a poor man with a child. You will ruin your life." My father was silent, which felt worse. But I did not care. I was not ruining my life. I was starting it. I loved Zachary, and I loved Leo like he was my own son. We were going to be a family. 6, our wedding day. We decided to have a small wedding. We didn't have much money, so we planned a simple ceremony. It was at the local town hall. Only a few friends would be there. I found a nice white dress. It was from a second-hand shop, but it was perfect. Zachary wore his best suit. It was old, but it was clean. Leo was very excited. He was our ring bearer. He would carry our rings. The wedding day was sunny. My best friend from the coffee shop came. Some of Zachary's friends from his new job were also there. My family did not come. My sister called and said she was busy. My mother and father did not come either. It made me a little sad, but I tried to smile. This day was about Zachary and me. We stood in front of the justice of the peace. He was the person who would marry us. He started to speak. He said the first words of the ceremony. Then the door of the room opened very fast. Everyone turned to look. It was Damien. He looked angry. His face was red. He walked quickly into the room. "Stop," he shouted. His voice was loud. "Della, don't do this." My heart started to beat very fast. Everyone was looking at us. Damien pointed at Zachary. "She is making a mistake," he yelled. "He cannot take care of her. He is nothing. I can give you everything, Della. Come with me." Zachary stood very straight. He put his arm around me. He looked at Damien. His voice was calm but strong. "You need to leave," Zachary said. Damien did not listen. "She loves me, not you," he shouted again. I looked at Damien. I was not scared. I felt strong. I was angry. I spoke clearly. My voice was loud. "No, Damien," I said. "I do not love you. I love this man. I love his son. Now please get out of my wedding." Damien's face became very red. He looked surprised. Two of Zachary's friends walked towards him. They were big men. Damien looked at them. Then he looked at me one last time. He turned and left. He closed the door very hard behind him. The room was quiet. I looked at Zachary. He looked at me. He smiled a little. I smiled back. I took a deep breath. "Can we continue, please?" I asked the justice of the peace. He nodded and continued. He asked us questions. We said, "I do." We said, "I do." And just like that, we were married. We were husband and wife. That night, we did not go on a big, expensive trip. We went back to our small apartment. We ordered a large pizza. It had a lot of cheese. We played some music. We danced in the kitchen. Zachary, me, and Leo, we all laughed. I had never felt so happy. I felt like the richest woman in the world. Our simple wedding day was perfect. 7, a big surprise. Life as a married couple was simple and sweet. I had left my job at the Daily Bean. Zachary's new job as a mechanic was steady, but it did not pay much. We were still poor, but we were happy. We paid our bills each month. We ate dinner together every night. We tucked Leo into his bed and we read him stories. It was the life I had chosen. It was the life I loved. I knew I had made the right choice. About a month after our small wedding, a long, official-looking letter came in the mail. It was for Zachary. He opened it slowly. I saw his face change as he read the words. His eyes grew wide. He sat down quickly on the sofa. He looked very pale. "What is it, Zach?" I asked, sitting next to him. I felt worried. "Is it bad news?" He shook his head, still looking at the letter in his hands. "I don't understand. This can't be real." He gave me the paper. It was from a lawyer. The letter was about his grandfather. Zachary had told me a little about him before. He was a grumpy old man who lived far away. They had not talked much for many years. The letter said that his grandfather had passed away, and he had left everything to Zachary. I read the important part. It said, the only person to get the property of Mr. Alastair Finch, which includes the 200-acre land known as Finch Farmlands. I read it again slowly. 200 acres. That was a very big piece of land. What does this mean? I asked him. My voice was quiet. Zachary finally looked at me. His eyes were wide with surprise. My grandfather owned land, a lot of it. My father always said he was just a poor farmer, but the lawyer says the land is very valuable. A big company wants to buy it, for a lot of money. How much money? I whispered. He showed me a number written at the bottom of the page. It had many zeros. My jaw dropped. It was millions of dollars. We were silent for a long time. I looked around our small apartment at our old furniture. And then I looked at my husband, Zachary. You knew about this? I asked him. He shook his head again. No, Della, I mean I knew he had a farm, but I thought it was just a poor old farm. He never talked about money with me. Then he looked at me, and his expression was serious. Della, I have to tell you something important. A few years ago, my grandfather offered to help me. He said I could come work on the farm. But my father and him had a big fight. My grandfather said I would only get the farm if my ex-wife was gone. He hated her. I said no. I told him I didn't want his money or his land. I wanted to make my own way in life. I wanted to build something myself. He took my hands in his. I never told you this before. I didn't want you to think. I didn't want you to marry me for money I didn't even have. I wanted you to marry me, for who I am. Tears welled up in my eyes. I looked at this good, honest man. He was willing to be poor and work hard with his hands just to be his own man. He wanted me to love him for who he was, not for what he might have one day. Oh, Zachary, I said, and I hugged him tight. I married the man who stood in the rain outside the coffee shop. I married the man who worked all day and still had a smile for his son. I married you. I don't care about the money. He held me back, and I knew he believed me. The money was a big surprise. But our love was real, and it was much more important. 8, our new life. 2 years passed. Our life was very different, but our values were the same. We had money, but we did not change. We still liked simple things. We did not buy a very big house. We sold most of the land Zachary got. We used some money to build a nice, comfortable house. It had a big yard for Leo to play in. My dream came true. With Zachary's help, I opened my own cafe in our town. It is called Della's Place. It is bright and sunny. We always give free hot chocolate to families on rainy days. It reminds me of the day I met Zachary and Leo. Zachary does not work as a mechanic anymore. He helps me every day at the cafe. He built all the tables and chairs himself. His hands are still strong, but now it is from building our future. Leo is 7 years old now. He calls me Mom. The first time he said it, my heart felt so full of joy. We also have a new baby. She is a girl, and her name is Lily. She has Zachary's brown eyes and my smile. Leo is the best big brother. Our family is complete. Many people in our town come to the cafe now. They see me happy with my family. They see Zachary, a loving husband and father. They see our 2 beautiful children. My mother often visits. She loves being a grandmother. She used to be angry, but now she sees how happy I am. She tells me I am very lucky. Damien, my old boyfriend, moved away. I do not think about him. Our life is not a scandal anymore. It is a true love story. I look at my husband and my children every day. I feel like the richest woman in the whole world. I married a good man who was poor. Now we are rich. We are rich in love, rich in family, and rich in happiness. If I could go back in time to that rainy day in the coffee shop, I would choose Zachary again. Every single time.